What's up, everybody? It's Leon Josh with another episode of 713 Football, man. Today, we're going to be doing our first ever mock the mock. It is going to be on Bucky Irvin's draft pick for the Houston Texans, which I know that some might be a little dicey with how the offensive line played. But listen, man, he has the Texans building on the strength and really developing a new strength, which could be the interior defensive line in a new way with us selecting Caleb Banks from Florida with the 28th pick of the draft, man. Josh, what are your initial thoughts about this?
I mean, about damn time. We've been screaming about adding size on the interior, and you don't get any bigger than this dude, right? 6'6", 335, over 10.5 inch hands. At 10.68 inch hands is crazy. 35-inch arms. And the beautiful thing with him, he is 24. We talked about that before we jumped on live, and that makes you worry a little bit, but I think it kind of allows you to kind of dream on the player because there's not a ton of tape on him. Like, he's played a lot of years, but he's been injured a bunch. If you're comfortable with those injuries and that the medicals are clear moving forward, and he just kind of was stuck in Florida and getting injured a bunch, and you're cool with it, there's a huge amount of upside with this player, and I would love this pick. This is something that I've been banging on the table, screaming for, wanting to DT, wanting another pass rusher to continue to make this strength a truly dominant, historic, franchise altering in a way that it'll be good for years and years and years. Because if you get this guy and plug him next to Will, it could be really special moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the type of player that could have been if all the stars aligned for him in the right way. He could have easily been a top 10 pick. I mean, we're talking about a guy that has basically nose tackle size, but he has the quickness to one gap in our defense, right? And he has the quickness and athleticism to get upfield and really create havoc in the backfield. He's not just a big body. You know what I mean? So to be able to get that at pick 28, man, I think would be phenomenal. And like you said, he has all the physical measurables, like the long arms, very powerful player. And he has like elite foot quickness. So I feel like some of his pass rushes are some things that I really haven't seen from a player. It's almost like a wide receiver getting off the line. I'll say that I do kind of wish that he would kind of play a little bit lower at times and also just physically get into the chest of the blocker faster. But I think that's something that as he works with our coaching staff, I've seen how they develop Will and other players. I think that they will be able to get him to be even a better speed to power rusher on the interior defensive line, in the future if we were to draft him, man. Josh, what do you kind of think about that also?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know right now we're saying he's not going to go top 10, but the way this draft goes, like, I thought day one, we've talked about him for years and years. He flashes as a top 20 talent. Like, I would kind of be surprised if he got to 28 as long as his medicals are clear. I think the medicals could bump him down to us, which would be great as long as we're clear on him, because I think it's a similar situation. And I don't know if people made this comparison yet, but it's similar to the way Stingley came out, where you had these flashes of absolute greatness, and then there's also these moments of like, okay, is it the scheme? I know Napier came in and it was kind of, the defense has always been good, but he hasn't been able to stay out there. And you look at him, it's like he came out first day at Senior Bowl, played okay, kind of was getting his bearings a little bit, and the second and third day he just was running through people. And I think what you come with him, and it's very clear how you need to develop the player and what you need to work on. But day one, he's going to be an absolute demon in the run game. Like, you plug him right in, he's going to make Will's job easier. He's going to make Daniil's be able to age a little more gracefully, because you're not going to ask as much in the run game, and him being able to dominate it there. He can kind of move him around and be more rotational because you have another pressure player. And I think what you see in the pass game, you mentioned this, like, his foot quickness is crazy. His anticipation is crazy. He just really needs to work on, like, his hands at this point. Really, it's a hands thing. And that's probably one of the more easier things for a defensive lineman to work on and improve on. As long as they have the foot quickness, the anticipation. It reminds me a little bit of Chris Jones when he was coming out. That's the kind of guy that keeps bumping in my head a little bit. And I think he's just so damn active in the run game, so damn active at times in the pass game, that it's going to be hard for D'Amico to put on that film and not fall in love with this player. And I think if he falls to 28, or even if we have to move up for the player, it could really be a franchise-altering move where you finally get that guy to kind of pair inside out that we never really got for J.J. Watt previously. We never got that outside dog to pair with him inside. Now we have that Will Anderson and we have that Daniil as that complement. We don't have that interior guy to really kind of make things completely unlivable for an offense.
Yeah, and I mean, not only will this help Will and Daniil. I think like let's talk about all the other interior defensive linemen that we have. I'm not looking at the contract situation between Rankins. I think Rankins is gone. I think Tim Settle was also on a 1 year, but Tommy Togiai is extended, right? So I mean, and basically, let's be real here. I mean, every interior defensive lineman we had was undersized. I think if like not only will it make Will Anderson and Neil Hunter's job easier, I think this is a pick that will make every other defensive lineman that we have on the team's job easier because everybody was kind of playing a little bit out of body because we were undersized at point, and especially particularly in the interior defensive line, right? And then also let's even talk about the linebackers, right? Aziz Al-Shair, Henry Toto, they haven't really played with the actual legitimate one technique with size on the Texans at all. I'd say, I guess maybe you could kind of say Foley, but I mean, not like this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a long time with Foley. It was like 1 year, and that was
yeah,
and
I
it was
mean,
on and off when he was healthy.
Injury riddle year too at that. So to me, I think this is a draft pick that would make the whole team more well-rounded. I mean, it would take pressure off the offense. It would take pressure off the defense. It makes everyone's job in the run game easier. It gives them, more opportunities to pass rush. To me, I think it would be a home run pick, man.
Yeah, and you made a great point about the linebackers, and I'll continue to the safety, right? Like right now as a defense, the crazy part about how good we've been is that we're not great up the middle yet. Like Aziz is good, and Toto is whatever, and Bullock is good deep, but that strong safety position there's nothing there right now there long time. Like that's something we're going to talk about later in the year during the offseason and how to address that. The other linebacker position, we can add another demon there, but I think it's going to allow Aziz to age more gracefully and it really create a team that no longer has that weakness where we saw teams at times, really good teams, come out and run the ball on us and have some success. If we add a guy like this, it's going to equal it out. Now, I don't want people to say, oh, well, if Caleb Banks is there, then we shouldn't go DT. A few other names to keep your eyes on and things that could be equally as important at 28 would be Lee Hunter. He's going to keep climbing the way he played the Senior Bowl. And Chris McKellen out of Missouri. He's another guy we maybe get in the second round. And then maybe Peter Woods falls. Like his tape is kind of on and off. The talent is crazy. So he would be a guy that if he dropped to 28 might be worth it as well. He could fill a similar kind of role as Caleb Banks. He's more of a 3-tech, I think, than a run game like demon the way Caleb Banks is. But I think there's a lot of options to do it. And I know people are going to freak out that, oh my God, why didn't you go tackle or why didn't you go guard here? We have to fix that. Like, y'all, the pick right before this was Freeland, and there's not really a tackle. Like Blake Miller maybe is a tackle that you take, but do you really want to go and take a guard here when you can get a game-changing unicorn like as a pressure player from the inside? We have to start thinking of DTs as unicorns because there's so few of them that can truly impact the game. And we saw like they tried to go after Christian Watkins when he was a free agent. But is D'Amico going to get back to his roots with the Niners? And this is a pick that you could have seen a few years back when he was in 49ers. Take this player and put him behind Eric Armstead and put him behind DeForest Buckner and continue to grow him in that path, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. So let us know what you guys think, man. Are y'all offensive player no matter what? We know the offense struggled, but you kind of got to take your blinders off and look at the team as a whole and understand, man, there's only so many first-round talents in a draft to begin with. So first things first, before we talk about needs and stuff, just take a player that you think is going to be good. You know what I mean? That's how I think we're kind of looking at it. And let us know how you feel about it, man, and how you would feel for us to add another defensive lineman in the first round. All right, y'all. Peace.